Thanks for joining us for another half hour of local news streaming here on KGW+. Our top story, the man shot by a federal agent in Portland last week appeared in court today. 33-year-old Luis Nino Moncada faces charges after investigators say he rammed his truck into a rental car used by Border Patrol. A federal agent shot Nino Moncada in the arm and his passenger, Betsabeth Zambrano-Contreras, in the chest last Thursday in the parking lot of an Adventist Health primary care center. According to court records, U.S. Border Patrol agents were conducting targeted enforcement operations when they spotted the two in southeast Portland. They say they ordered the pair to get out of the vehicle when Nino Moncada rammed their car. An agent then fired their weapon. The Department of Homeland Security says both are in the country illegally and have ties to a Venezuelan gang. A judge ordered Nino Moncada to stay behind bars until a detention hearing Wednesday. Meantime, Zambrano-Contreras is being held at the Northwest Detention Center in Tacoma. Following that shooting, state Republicans say they are alarmed by the rhetoric from elected leaders. They held a news conference about it this weekend. RJ Coulter has the story from Salem.
The overarching message from some state Republicans today is that they want to see the temperature turned down when it comes to federal law enforcement and say that Democratic leadership is doing more harm than good with their reactions.
It is deeply irresponsible for elected officials to politicize an active investigation.
House Minority Leader Lucetta Elmer, joined by a handful of her colleagues, delivered a Republican response to the Border Patrol shooting in Portland last week.
What Oregonians saw over the last 72 hours was not restraint. They saw immediate conclusions, inflammatory rhetoric, and public statements made before all the facts were known.
Senate Minority Leader Bruce Starr says this wasn't a random interaction.
According to federal authorities, the incident involved a targeted law enforcement operation focused on individuals connected to a violent transnational criminal organization.
This unlike the situation in Minneapolis, but the timing made for enhanced emotions. On Saturday, Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Dexter said she wanted to take action against DHS, including by drafting articles of impeachment against Secretary Kristi Noem.
We also are trying to form a coalition of congressional members who are willing to withhold appropriations for the Department of Homeland Security.
State Representative Alex Scarlato says rhetoric like this makes things worse.
The temperature might have been significantly higher because of what happened in Minneapolis, but these are elected leaders statewide. These aren't just random people that are giving these press conferences. They're raising the temperature at the worst possible time after what happened in Minneapolis. It should be more of a reason for them to take pause and let the facts come out instead of just jumping on the bandwagon of throwing law enforcement under the bus.
State Representative Jeff Helfrich says his time with the Portland Police Bureau informs his opinion on this.
Being a frontline officer or a supervisor there, every time politicians came in and raised the rhetoric up and talked about it, that caused the problems.
Jay Coulter, KGW News.
Meantime, we're hearing from attorneys with Innovation Law Lab after they asked a federal court to stop ICE agents from making arrests in Oregon without a warrant. Since October, attorneys say ICE has launched operations across the state, leading to an almost 8,000% spike in immigration arrests since 2024. Immigration attorneys say ICE is targeting areas with high Latino populations and arresting people without warrants.
The law requires ICE to have probable cause before detaining someone and taking away their liberty. And in the context of the statute, that also requires a warrant. That's an appropriate check on the power that they're exercising to take people's liberty. And we're seeing this really rampantly, especially with the increased enforcement activity since October.
Among the plaintiffs is Victor Cruz, who lives in Hillsborough. ICE agents arrested Cruz despite him having a work authorization and a pending visa. His family says he was arrested in a case of mistaken identity, as federal agents were looking for another man by the same name who did have a criminal history. And in Salem, several groups came together to help people affected by the Trump administration's immigration crackdown. On Sunday, the Unitarian Universalist congregation hosted a benefit concert and silent auction. Organizers tell us several people have reached out wanting to financially support families who may have had a loved one recently detained or deported, as well as businesses who have lost income because they say their customers are staying home out of fear.
There might be no money coming into a family if your main breadwinner just was whisked off to a detention center. So there's a family left wondering what to do. And if they need legal help, they might have legal fees on top of that.
We'll continue to cover the federal shooting and the immigration debate involving ICE. Look for the latest here on KGW Plus, on air, and on our website, kgw.com. January is Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and this week, ODOT is educating truckers and the public on how to spot signs of it. Libby Dowsett is live at the Woodburn Way Station with more on how they're getting the word out. Libby.
And Christine, they're here at the way stations right here and all around the state, handing out flyers, decals, and posters explaining how to spot the signs of human trafficking and how to take action. Now, many of these drivers out here, the truck drivers, consider themselves the eyes and ears of the open road. So ODOT's Commerce and Compliance Division and the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance is trying to educate drivers one by one about the signs of human trafficking. They're hoping by getting this information to the drivers, they will be able to spot potential victims, including individuals who don't seem to know what town they're in or those who aren't allowed to handle their own money. Truckers will have those information cards or window decals with the National Human Trafficking Hotline number listed.
We pass those cards out with every inspection and every citation, every warning, and every conversation we have with the truck driver.
And you can search for the National Human Trafficking Hotline, which is 1-888-373-7888. Also, if you see someone come up to you with their hand like this and fold their fingers over, it could mean they're being trafficked or abused. That's the sign right there, and they need help. Back to you guys.
Yeah, what an important tip, and very important to stay aware. Thank you, Libby. A 64-year-old woman has died after a house fire this morning in northeast Portland. It happened around 7 in the Piedmont neighborhood. Investigators say the woman did not escape the fire in time. She went to the hospital in critical condition but did not survive. Investigators believe an extension cord attached to a portable space heater started that fire. Officials say any large appliance should be plugged directly into a grounded wall outlet, never a power strip or extension cord. Fire crews say they also couldn't hear any smoke alarms when they arrived. Iranians in our area gathered at Pioneer Courthouse Square over the weekend to show their support for people in Iran who are pushing back against the government there. We spoke to one woman who moved to Portland from Iran in the 80s. She says there have been uprisings in the past, but she hopes this time the current government falls, adding while Iranians want support, they believe it's their duty to fight for freedom on their own.
I hope that the whole world, including this government, supports the Iranian people. But most of the Iranian people have said over the years, we want to do it ourselves. We want to be the ones that free our own country. We don't want people to get involved. We want to do it. And if everyone can support us, we would love that.
At least 646 people have been killed in Iran as security forces try to squash those protests. Turning to technology headlines now, artificial intelligence and chatbots are becoming an increasingly regular part of our lives, but that is also raising mental health concerns, particularly for teens. Michael Yoshida has more on what adults need to know.
This new artificial intelligence is here to stay, and much like social media, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle. So we spoke with experts about how families can try and navigate this new world.
AI chatbots are becoming a bigger part of teens' lives. Last year, nearly 3 in 10 teens reported using them, quote, almost constantly, according to a Pew Research Center study.
AI chatbots are very much our new reality. They're being used by everybody for every imaginable purpose.
AI may seem like it knows just about everything, but experts say that isn't the case.
These AI chatbots are not oracles of truth. They can get information wrong more often than you may think.
They're also friendly and designed for engagement, which CNET's Caitlin Shadrawi warns it may just tell you what you want to hear.
When people express worldviews that are potentially harmful or dangerous, these chatbots do not have the ability to effectively push back against those worldviews.
This can be particularly harmful to young people who are still developing emotionally and intellectually and may believe what the bot says, even if its response is wrong or its advice is dangerous.
Our use of social media tells a story of what happens when we're not mindful of how these technologies can influence children and their development.
Pediatrician Joanna Parga-Balinki says there are ways parents can help their kids adapt to this new tech.
Think about your family values and what works for your family.
Be curious and open-minded. Learn how and where your child uses chatbots for school, fun, or something else. Understand what they like or enjoy and try them together.
See what kind of responses it comes back with. And when you do that and you engage with the child, that allows for teachable moments with this type of technology.
And concerns about artificial intelligence chatbots not limited to just children. Last year, mental health experts as well as some users began sharing warnings about instances where AI tools were leading to delusions or even isolation among adults too. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
Coming up, as the Winter Olympics approach, Team USA is locked in. Next, from record-breaking skaters to iconic comebacks, see who's going to Italy in just a few weeks. Joe?
And Christine, we're seeing a gorgeous end to your Monday night, especially out in the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley outside our capital in Salem. Temperatures right now are right around 50 degrees, but overnight we'll be seeing some dense fog roll in, and it could be a little bit of a cloudy start and cool start for some of you for tomorrow. I'll have a look at your detailed forecast coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. Team USA is gearing up to go for the gold with the Winter Olympics just 25 days away. And as Kathy Park reports, U.S. figure skating just announced its Olympic team.
Team USA!
16 U.S. skaters officially headed to the Winter Olympics, a roster made up of the world's best, like Ilya Malinin, nicknamed the Quad God.
Ilya Malinin is now the four-time U.S. national champ.
To Amber Glenn, making history this week with a record-breaking score. Our Hoda Copy spoke with Amber and two of her now teammates, Isabel Levito and Alyssa Liu.
I mean, I could be looking at the podium, nobody knows, but this could be amazing. Do you think about that kind of thing?
I think it's great that it's not just one person or singular hope.
Yeah.
And I think, three people go at it, like someone's gonna stick.
This moment is all too familiar for gold medal Olympian Tara Lipinski.
What are these athletes experiencing ahead of the Olympics?
It's really stressful. You have one moment to shine. You have 4 minutes on the ice, and
In our sport, one mistake and it's over.
That competitive pressure building for other athletes looking toward the Winter Games, including Lindsey Vonn, solidifying her comeback this weekend, winning her second World Cup downhill in Austria. At 41, she's entering her 5th Olympics, this time with a titanium knee.
One of the most incredible comebacks we have ever seen in any sport at any time.
I knew what it was going to take to win today. You know, it's a sprint, and I had to give it everything I had.
From Olympic greats to rising stars, U.S. athletes ready to shine with the Games less than a month away. Kathy Park, NBC News.
Yeah, and we are ready for it. February 6th is when it kicks off. Yeah, I cannot wait.
February is a big month for NBC. We got the Super Bowl, we have the Olympics, and who knows, maybe we'll have some interesting weather. But what's interesting about our weather is just how sunny and warm it's going to be. You know, up and along the mountains, they have that inversion layer, so they saw temperatures in the 50s. And it's going to be staying pretty warm up there the next few days. But the big weather story for tomorrow is going to be the weather impact alert because of the dense fog. But right now in downtown Portland, we're looking at basically clear skies. There have been a few high clouds out there a good portion of the day, but temperatures in the upper 40s right now. The one thing you'll want to pay attention to is tomorrow morning, because once that dense fog rolls in, it's going to be visibility down to about a quarter of a mile or less. So be prepared for that, especially down in the Salem area. Here's a live look from the Reserve Golf Course from our Explorer Tualatin Valley camera. 49 degrees, just a few, maybe 5-10 minutes or so left of daylight, but our days are slowly getting a little bit longer. The weather headlines for tomorrow looks like this. Dense morning fog, as I've been telling you about all afternoon and this evening. Afternoon sunshine, well above average temperatures for this time of year. Now, January, is that kind of the time of the year where you get kind of down in the doldrums a little bit? You need some sunshine? Well, yeah, we have that in store. Plenty of it the next few days. And then that air stagnation advisory will remain in effect until Friday early morning, right around 4 o'clock in the morning is when that expires. Up at Timberline Lodge, yeah, you're seeing a temperature of 47 degrees, and unfortunately, there's no new snow in the forecast, and all those great gains that you saw last week are slowly going to be melting away over the next few days because freezing level is right around 13,000 feet basically the next week, and temperatures are going to be pretty warm as well. We have this ridge of high pressure, so that's why we're starting to see these, I wouldn't call it spring-like feeling out there, but definitely not feeling like almost mid-January. You can kind of see these clouds arc a little bit. All those clouds are going to be going up to British Columbia and along Puget Sound into Seattle the next couple of days. Meanwhile, here in the metro area, we're going to be enjoying a lot of sunshine. This is that dense fog advisory that's in place from tonight until late tomorrow morning. Places that won't see the fog lift really will be McMinnville, Salem South. Meanwhile, downtown Portland, Battleground, Southwest Washington, you'll see those clouds burn out pretty quickly. So here we are tomorrow morning. You see after midnight, those clouds start to develop, Salem South. And as we get into a little more of the daylight hours, we'll start to see some of those fog kind of expand a little bit. But by early part of the afternoon, you're going to be seeing a lot of blue skies. And come Wednesday, you can kind of see the clouds kind of thicken up a little bit throughout the metro area and up and down the I-5 corridor. I have temperatures still relatively warm for this time of year on Wednesday, but there's a chance we get into the low to mid 40s only on Wednesday with some light drizzle and some pockets of sprinkles from those low clouds. And then we'll start to see the clouds clear out by the later part of the week. I'll show you that again in the 7-day forecast. But snow level the next several days, yeah, it's going to be right around that freezing level of 13,000 feet. And out the Oregon Zoo along Highway 26, clear skies with a temperature of 46 degrees. And so far for the month of January, almost the first half of it, we're looking at just over 2 inches of rain. So we're above by about 0.2 of an inch of rain. And that number is going to go down here the next few days because we're not going to be seeing a drop of rain, at least measurable amount of rain, I should say, the next 5 days, and that's going to continue into the early part of next week. So tomorrow, 56 degrees. Wednesday's kind of a wild card. If though the foggy conditions burn off quick, we could be seeing temperatures in the low 50s. But again, I don't think we're going to be seeing much in terms of sunshine come Wednesday, but there's going to be a lot of it for Tuesday and beyond. So as we look at the air mass track the next few days, that ridge of high pressure is going to keep things very pleasant for this time of year. Tomorrow morning, areas of dense fog. I'm expecting to see them out of here by lunchtime with temperatures in the mid to the upper 50s and a little bit cooler on Wednesday. Like I said, it could be even a little bit cooler than 48 degrees, but we bounce right back for Thursday and beyond with a lot of sunshine and warm temperatures.
Yeah, gosh, that 7-day looking really good, and I feel like we got to enjoy it while we have it because we don't know what's coming.
Exactly right. Enjoy it as much as you can.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Coming up, a federal judge blocks a Trump administration order that could have changed how and when ballots are counted. What this could mean for Northwest voters.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. A judge has blocked a Trump administration order that would have tightened voting requirements nationwide. Critics say the move could have disrupted vote-by-mail systems in Oregon and Washington. Thomas Schultz looks at what else the judge had to say.
The judge ruled that President Trump overstepped his authority with this order. It would have mandated that all mail-in ballots arrive by Election Day. The order would have also required proof of U.S. citizenship to vote. Those changes could have had a significant impact here in Oregon and up in Washington. Both states sued to block the order, arguing it could disenfranchise tens of thousands of voters. The court says the Constitution gives Congress and the states, not the president, the authority to regulate federal elections. Still, President Trump pushed to end mail-in voting due to concerns over costs and election integrity.
We're going to end mail-in voting. It's a fraud. You know that we're the only country in the world, I believe, I may be wrong, but just about the only country in the world that uses it.
He's wrong. Voting by mail in Oregon, which is, by the way, done with paper ballots, is less expensive than votes that require someone to show up at a specific place at a specific time.
The judge noted that voting by non-U.S. citizens is rare and illegal, adding that states could not be threatened with the loss of federal funding by not abiding by this order, meaning that mail-in voting in Washington and Oregon will continue as it has for quite some time. In downtown Portland, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back. A brand new library is now open in Northwest Portland. Dozens of families attended the grand opening over the weekend. The new library on Northwest Pettygrove is more than twice the size of the library that it's replacing, which was on Thurman Street, a few blocks away.
Oh, it's awesome. Just the structure and the fact that they used a lot of reclaimed materials and like the stuff they put together for kids. I mean, it's just, you can tell they put a lot of work into it and a lot of heart.
Inside the library is a large selection of books for kids and plenty of computers for people wanting to access the internet. Well, stay with us because we have another full hour of news coming up in just 2 minutes. In the meantime, though, let's check out this gorgeous view from our Vancouver waterfront skycam on this Monday night. Always loving this shot where you can see the Columbia, the lights of the bridge, just beautiful. Your top stories are straight ahead.